Well, we here on another job. We got a small concrete pad to be tore out. Of course, I brought the machine over here the other day. Just brought it here and just played around a little bit. Wanted to see if it could even break it loose, because I wasn't for sure. I've never tore out any concrete before, so. And it did. It don't have any wire in it like the center part, only the footings have some rebar in it. It's probably a foot by foot footings, foot by foot. So yeah, we're gonna get this tore out, and he's got a pile just off the edge of the hill there where we're just going to track it over and dump it. It's not a big job, but something to do. Gonna use the old 309. Really loving that machine. So, and I know a lot of you like to see it, so try to get a video of it working. Man, it has just been messy. North Mississippi, and it's been raining like crazy. Just tornadoes, snow, rain, all in the same day. It's ridiculous. Of course, my machine is still just nasty. I ain't even got it back home from the last job to clean it up. Just bouncing from one job to the other. But I haven't really gotten much done because of the weather. Just that time of year. So yeah, let's get this thing fired up and warmed up. And tear this thing out. And something else I've been having concerns about. I forget how cold it is right now. It's probably 40 something. So a couple weeks ago, it was really cold. It was in the teens and the low 20s when I was loading out dirt with this thing. And what I noticed is the grid heater, it's either intake heater, it's not glow plugs, but same thing, you know, you're heating up the air, whatever, coming in the engine when it's cold start. Anybody that has a diesel knows what I'm talking about. Well, this thing will not turn the glow plugs on. I'm just going to call it glow plugs, just to, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not actually glow plugs. I think it's the intake heater. But anyway, it should be a little light up here that will come on. Let's see if it comes on. And it don't. I do not like cranking a diesel without letting it warm up with the glow plugs first. Everybody knows that. It just went into high idle, which tells me that it's cold enough that that grid heater should be coming on before it ever cranks, but it doesn't. I called Cat the other day and I was complaining about it, and the guy actually came out here. Of course, I don't think it was cold enough when he come out here for it to even come on. Of course, I haven't heard back from him, but even he said, like, yeah, that thing should turn on a couple seconds before it starts, but it's not doing it. And I mean, you can see, I think you can see, I can see, you may can pick it up. It's got a little puff of white smoke. Of course, we all know what that means. I don't like that. I mean, this machine was $142,000. The damn thing should switch on the grid heater, air intake heater, whatever you want to call it, before cold start. I don't care if it's supposed to or not, but it should, because the way it cranks, it don't like it. Like, not at all. It don't like it. The other morning when it was 20 something degrees, it did not like it at all. And the 306 cranks better. Of course, it's a little bit smaller engine, but still, it cranks a lot better than this thing. And it's 235 hours on this machine. It's brand new. So I don't like that. I'm gonna call the guy back here in just a little bit, and I'm gonna raise hell with him, because I just don't like it. So that's my thoughts on it. If any of you have a 309 that y'all's do the same thing, or doesn't do that, or operates like I think it should, y'all please let me know. But anyway, that's my rant on that. So I'm gonna get this camera set up, and we're gonna tear out some concrete, and we're gonna watch this big girl work. All right, maybe she's warmed up. Hydraulics are still cold, but we'll get to work. What I'll have to do is some of these pieces that the rebar's in, I've got a sawzall that I'll get out and cut, just to keep from beating the machine to pieces, trying to break it free. It's kind of excited to get this small job, because see, like that piece of rebar right there, I need to get out and just cut it. Let's see if I can snap it out. I was excited to get this job because I want to see what this, there it goes, got it. I want to see what this machine will do as far as like this type work goes, because I have supposedly have a concrete job coming up for a plant I work at, or do a lot of work for. And this will kind of let me know, like, maybe what I need as far as tearing that stuff out. Just something different, I guess, you know, as far as taking down trees or whatever. I'd actually like to get into doing concrete work, but I don't know enough about it to just go out and start doing it, especially charging people for it. Seems to be a good field to get into. I know the folks around here, they do pretty good at it. They stay busy and make pretty decent money with it. What I may do is just, I got a couple projects around the house, around the shop, that I want to do. You know, just probably just do that myself, just kind of see how things go with that. I need to build a pad for the sawmill to sit on, kind of get it out of the weather. Be nothing special. That rebar ripped up. I think this is a 4-inch pad with a 1x1 footers. Nothing special. This guy's ripping all this out, and he's going to build back a lot bigger shop. He may get me to do the dirt work on it. I'm not sure yet. He's a pretty pretty high-end home builder around these parts. So he's I did another little job for him the other day, just grading out around where they just poured a home pad they're gonna build a house on. I just did some finished work around it for him, and he's a good contact to know as far as getting work and just learning things, you know. That's the thing about it, is I didn't grow up doing this stuff. I wasn't born into it. Everything you see me doing is just, I learned it either watching YouTube and just getting out there and doing it. I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious things that I do and how I do them that I'm just learning as I go. But maybe that will help some of you just take that leap and say, well, you know what, if he can do it, then hell, I can do it. I think that's where most people's hang up is they think, well, man, I ain't never been showed, or I wasn't born into it, I can't do it. Like, hell with that. If you're interested in something, just do it. I mean, that's exactly how I got to where I am. I just was interested in it. I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to just do it. So hell, I did. And for a long time, I sat and thought the same things. Like, well, you know what? My parents didn't have this. They didn't have that. I wasn't born into doing that type of stuff. And it ain't for me. I'll never be able to do it, or this or that. And finally, I was like, you know what? Screw that. Now, does it help having somebody to show you and teach you and the things that they know better to do and the mistakes they've made? Hell yeah. I mean, I'd give anything to have somebody to say, hey, stupid, you know, don't do it that way because of this, or do it that way because of that. You know, that'd be great, but I don't. The only thing I got is YouTube and not being scared to research something, or that's what it's all about. You just have to research, you know. That's the beauty of the age we live in, is there's information out there. All you got to do is just look for it. And thankfully there's guys out there that put free information out there for people like me that don't know but want to know. And that also comes down to the guys that are willing to teach and don't look down on people like me that don't know what they're really doing but want to learn, and having patience. It's what I used to always tell, you know, back in my old profession of something that I actually did know. Just maintenance work, fixing things, you know. Because whenever we'd get a new guy in there, I don't care. He may ask a really dumb question, like just off the wall, and you may think like, man, why would you ask that? But things like that didn't bother me, because if you're asking questions, then you obviously want to learn. You know, it's just like an old saying, there's no such thing as a stupid question. That's not to be confused with stupidity. But no, it's just, if you got somebody wanting to learn that's willing to learn, have patience with them. This is actually pretty fun. And there's probably a better way of doing this. I'm sure there is, but how I'm doing it. I'm just making it work with what I got right now. I guess, yeah, I could have rented a hammer, but why? This actually lets me know that as far as this particular scenario or whatever, I don't really need a hammer. It lets me know that really all I need is a machine and a bucket. Now the job I've got coming up, I will need a hammer, and I will need to saw it first, just because of the layout of the concrete's inside a building. It's totally different from this, but this at least lets me see, you know, what I may or may not have to saw cut or hammer out. I can just grab a hold of it and break it out, you know. Every little bit of experience will carry down the road. I don't care what it is. And that's all this is just getting experience, you know, seeing something new, learning like things, how what this does that does this, kind of what not to do, what worked, what didn't work. Really just an excuse to get on my machine and go tear something up. I mean, who doesn't like doing that? Careful not to just go in here and squeeze real hard with a thumb. That's something else I want to try to make maybe a video on, is like the do's and don'ts with your thumb, and like what I'm really doing. Like on camera it's hard to, like you really can't see like how much pressure I'm putting on things, and maybe why when I grab something, I grab it the way I do and I spin the way I do, like what I'm really doing. It's hard to see that, you know, on camera, especially with logs. Like when you grab logs and you're twisting with them, and they're, you know, what's really going on with your thumb and your linkages and stuff. I think that'll be really good to kind of explain and help newer operators kind of understand like a better way of operating, that you don't tweak things, you don't tear things up. Because actually I have already tweaked this thumb. It's already had to been fixed once, but that wasn't, I know everybody says, oh, it's not an operator issue, it's a mechanical issue, but what I think actually happened is where the bolt hole goes up through the pin, I think the pin actually broke, and it allowed the thumb to basically nearly pop off the end of the pin. And luckily I saw it. Luckily I stopped when I did. It didn't completely pop it off, but that's a different story for a different time. But I have already bent or tweaked the thumb on this machine. I don't know if anybody else has had that problem with their 309s. I have seen I seen a 308 come back to the dealer the other day, a brand new 308, that they tweaked the thumb on that thing, and apparently that's not the first time that it's happened. So very easy to do, especially like this style thumb is not made for, it's not really made, I don't think, for heavy duty stuff, even though, you know, it can handle it as long as you're careful. It's more of a utility thumb, just basically just picking things straight up and down. You know, I've already harped on the thumb a little bit in the review video I did of this machine. wish they offered a different style thumb for more, just more heavy duty extreme type thumb. They really should, because this machine can do a lot more than the thumb. The thumb to me is the weak link on this machine, and it shouldn't be. It's got some rebar sticking up right there. I'm gonna knock that down so I ain't tracking over it. Stud sticking up. Under the corner of the pad here and see if I can break it off like I did the other corner. Oh yeah. Get out and cut that. It's got quite a bit more rebar in this corner for some reason. Not sure why. Yeah, let me I'm gonna get y'all set up outside here and let you see it work from the outside. down now. Now I got to take it and just kind of transfer it. It's right off the edge of the woods there. So man, that went pretty good. Like I said, I've never tore out any concrete. Just really had no clue what to even expect. Sure, every job would be different, but that went pretty smooth. It'd take me longer to track this stuff over the hill than it will to tear it out. Gotta tear out these small little roots right here, or little saplings. I think this is where his new shop is going to be. Here we'll get all the roots. Guys working with us, you know, on tree jobs and stuff, it's kind of, I really don't want to unhook it because of that. You know, it just kind of lets them know that I'm moving or I'm about to move. And when you got young guys working for you, you kind of have to watch out for them because they're not paying attention or whatnot. One swipe of this thing and somebody's seriously hurt or killed. Ain't worth it. Let's see here. Let's grab a couple. Don't want it to do that. Try to keep the bigger pieces intact. Not like that. If I can get up under it. Ah, crap. Machine still impresses me at times, just how strong it is. This is a pretty steep little hill right here. It'd be hard to tell, but pretty good little drop off. That's what we got to do to finish this up, and said it's not really a whole lot to this, but at least it's something to do, something to make a little bit of money at during the slow times. And the best thing is learning something new, getting to do something new, see what the machine's capable of. And it gives y'all something to watch. And I know I don't put out a video every day like your big guys do, but you know, I'm gonna try to get to that point, and I appreciate y'all I really appreciate y'all when y'all comment. You know, that means a lot. And I think that goes a long way as far as the logarithm on YouTube and whatnot. You know, I appreciate y'all sharing what y'all think, and you know what y'all do, and you know, it's just cool. It's cool to interact with people all over the world that are interested in what you got going on. You know, that's really what it's all about. That's why, hell, I guess that's why we all do this, or YouTube, you know, just to see what everybody else is doing. But no, I appreciate it. Y'all just let me know what you think. Got any questions? Got any suggestions on how to do things better? You know, what to look for? Hell, man, just share them. I try to respond to every comment. Try to respond to every comment because I don't want somebody to think that I didn't see their comment or whatever. So yeah, y'all keep commenting and liking and subscribing and whatever. I used to make a joke about that, you know, before I even started a YouTube channel. I would just say that, you know, just to be saying it, because that's I think that's what every YouTuber says. Eventually they're going to say it. Y'all be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know, I would say that just every time I would fix something or whatever. So it's just kind of a joke, really. But no, y'all, for real, like and subscribe. Adios.